everybody. Welcome back to the Producer's Perspective Live, TGIF. Thank God it's Friday because tomorrow is Saturday, which means it's just like Friday and Thursday and Wednesday and all the days are the same. So who really cares? I care. I care that you're here. I'm so thankful that you're here. Let's do this, says Justin. I love it. Let's do it. We shall do this. And we have a fantastic guest tonight. Another one. This is like 2 nights in a row. We have these powerhouse leading ladies on Broadway, and also some of my favorite people. So last night we had Carrie Butler, so go watch that replay if you missed it. Super fun. And tonight, Krysta Rodriguez, another big Broadway star, and coming to you live for free, for nothing. That's not true. We are charging. We are charging you donations to the Actors Fund. Mary, throw up that ticker. Remind everyone that this is where you give to the Actors Fund. If you're on my Facebook page right now, you should be able to throw some tips into the tip jar and give a little to that wonderful organization. Or if you've been following along, then you know that Facebook has now, we've gotten so many views on these suckers, thanks to all of you. Facebook emailed me and said, you can now accept stars. I didn't really know what that meant. Really just not good at this improvising stuff. I didn't really know what that meant, so Mary found out for me, and Mary found out you can like buy stars like a ninja and from Facebook and throw them at us. If you like something that I say, more likely something that Krysta says, and the money will go to the Actors Fund. So have some fun, pick up some stars from Mark Zuckerberg and throw them at us. So Krysta Rodriguez tonight, Spring Awakening, both companies, including the company that I produce, which I don't know, is this, we'll have to ask her if Krysta is the only person to actually appear in the original company and the first revival of the production. We'll ask Addams Family, First Date, the revival of A Chorus Line. She does a ton of television. There, look at that. Look at all this stuff. A ton of television as well, including that show Smash, that you can watch now, and everyone, you know, it ran 2 seasons. Everyone is just like binging it like crazy now to get their little taste of Broadway. So we're gonna have her on in a minute. For those of you who have been fans for the, I just wish we could do second take sometimes. For those of you who are fans of all the streaming stuff that we're doing, aren't you glad I'm not an actor? For those of you who are fans of all the streaming stuff that the industry is doing, not only me, but the folks at the Broadway Briefing, which, by the way, check this out. First of all, if you want to get hot, like the news about Broadway, check out Broadway Briefing. I see Mary trying to scurry to put some graphic or some website. She'll throw it in the comments. Broadway Briefing is this incredible service where you get an email in the morning of all the top stories of Broadway. It's amazing. And they, because there's been so much streaming activity, they put together a sister site, which just is literally all the times of when the different streaming things happen, including ours. Curtaintimes.com, pretty good domain name. They got it. If you want to check out all the streaming activity for Broadway, go to curtaintimes.com, and it's like the TV guide for those of you who were born in the 70s or before. It's like the TV guide of streaming Broadway entertainment. So go check it out. Lots of charity stuff going on there. Go check it out. Look at all the options and then choose ours. Okay, got it? It's a deal? Great. Then we'll keep bringing you people like Krysta Rodriguez, who is up now. Are you ready? Let's bring her on. Please welcome to the live stream Ms. Krysta Rodriguez. Welcome, Krysta.
Hello.
Hi.
It's so fun. You can make an appearance. It's
I know.
Like bibbidi bobbidi boop.
That's right. I feel like Doug Henning, like a magician, like Copperfield. It's like, I've summoned you up. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Yeah.
You're healthy and safe and sound and all those things?
So far, so good. Yes. Healthy, safe, sound. We're in Harlem. So we're holding it down in the best city in the world. And, but who knows? I could be anywhere because I don't go outside. So.
And where were you when, as I've been asking everybody, where were you when the virus hit the fan? Like, where were you when the moment was like, oh God, this is not just a thing from China. This is going to change our lives.
Yeah, I think that I've had a couple moments. Like it's still been a very long process of figuring out what it is, but I was working on this TV show. I'm doing this new Ryan Murphy show, and we were on set on that Thursday, the 12th, and business as usual. Everyone's at work. We were doing a scene in a plane set, so we were like in a plane with 60 people. Like, could you imagine a worse place to be when the quarantine hits the fan? And I remember one of our prop guys being like, "Oh, SVU just shut down. So and so tested positive on this show." Like reading off all the TV shows that people were having and getting shut down, and that hadn't even been discussed. Like no one had even really talked about it because it was like, well, if no one has it, you might as well like keep going. The next day, I was supposed to be picked up for work at 3:30, and at 3 o'clock they called and they were like, we're gonna just put on hold for 2 weeks. So we went out to dinner, and then the next day was like,
As you do.
we just like I remember just waking up the next day being like, that was the worst thing ever. We can't do that anymore. And from that point on, we just stayed inside, and we were going grocery shopping, but it got too scary. So my boyfriend Peter, his family lives in New Jersey, and his mom can go to the like early morning grocery shopping thing. So they'll drive it in, pop their trunk. We've got our masks and like get our groceries and wipe them all down and put them away. So like we're not even really going on walks. It's just we really just decided like why not go all in. But I am craving a walk for sure.
Yeah, you and my wife should chat because
Yes.
There's been a lot of it's like we're shut-ins here.
Well, it's just like you never know. Is this going to be the thing that is the bad thing? Like how how careful do you be? And if you're not super careful, was that the clinch? I don't know. That's my
Listen, being super careful just helps everybody. So
exactly.
be super careful. Now this television show who are you playing on this television show?
She's just a small little icon, Liza Minnelli.
So this is amazing.
Yeah.
What was it like preparing for the audition for Liza Minnelli?
It was so I hadn't been like auditioning a lot because my year last year was sort of mapped out. So I was doing this play at MCC up until end of December. And so I hadn't really had a lot of auditions, and I got the audition and it said like Ryan Murphy, Halston, Liza Minnelli, and I like almost threw up. Like just looking at the audition, I was like and I wrote back my agents. I was like, this really scares me. I should probably get this. And they were like, yeah, that sounds good. And I was like, I don't even know. So in some ways it was so outlandish that I would have ever gotten the part that I just felt free to like give it a shot.
Mm-hmm.
And in other ways it felt like, yeah, this feels right. This feels like something that feels like a natural next step. And so I just started I just devoured everything I could about her. And, I have to say, I don't think I really knew who she was, even though everyone knows who she is. Like by the time I had sort of encountered her, she had become the almost a caricature, the sort of cabaret gay icon who Kristen Wiig does on Saturday Night Live. You almost don't know who she really was. And so to research that and understand who she was and the sort of the groundbreaking work that she did, and also the way that she wanted to be an actor in a time where you could have been a dancer and a singer, you could have been sort of a showman, and instead she was like, I want to be the best actor, I want to tell stories. And she's a survivor, I mean, beyond. So there were a lot of things about that I resonated with. So I just went in and sang, and I did my little accent, my little Liza voice, and then I had 4 or 5 auditions after that. I had to keep going in. I had to go in for the director. I had to go in for the writer. I had to have a screen test. There was all kinds of steps to it. The whole way, about halfway through, became aware there weren't any other people auditioning for it, that it was just me, that they were kind of putting through the paces, which was like an even scarier process, because you're like, this is mine to lose then. There's not like, oh, I lost out to Anne Hathaway, that happened. It was like, you're it, and you better, keep proving yourself. So I just had to keep proving myself. And we were only an episode in of 6 episodes when we shut down. So I don't even feel like I really got my claws in it all the way, so now it's going to be a whole new learning process.
Can you give us just a little bit of that Liza voice? Just a little bit.
I'm still out of practice. I don't know. It's just a little bit of things. She has like a little bit of lisp, and it's just a little in the wide, but it's natural,
I love it. It's funny you say that about like, we don't know these people, because often when celebrities or stars are much older, like, we think of them as the caricature they become, and we forget. The Robert De Niro that I watched, I had no idea was in The Godfather, right? Yeah. So if you don't know them when they're the young, hungry, genius stars climbing their way up, and then you learn about them and you have a whole different respect for
Totally, yeah. And I could name, give me a date, I'll name what show she was in, who she was married to, who she was sleeping with, and how long her eyelashes were. Like, I was like, I know everything about this woman, and that's fun. It was what I was most excited about, was like getting, I had like coachings and all kinds of things, just immersing myself in somebody. It was really fun.
Oh, look, my wife is actually watching, and she chimed in to say exactly about the ultimate shut-in that
I know, when you guys have a child, that's not the same as us kind of hanging around watching movies all day.
Yeah, it's okay. She's like a movie in herself. So
yeah.
She's like a Jerry Lewis movie. Falling all over herself.
Yeah, exactly.
It's pretty fun. So that's fantastic. So and congratulations on the show, of course. I mean, we hate when you keep getting television, because you then are away from Broadway, and we love you here. But it's great for you. Now, you are the second Broadway leading lady to play Liza Minnelli in the last couple of years. Did you see Fosse Verdon? Do you know Kelly Barrett?
I know Kelly. I have seen parts of Fosse Verdon. Unfortunately, I didn't watch the whole thing, and I need to get around to doing it, because everyone says it's amazing. But I did watch. I got to see her, performances and stuff, and it's amazing. It's amazing how, intricate that piece was, where they were copying like shot for shot, move for move. That Mein Herr is incredible. And Susie Meisner, who choreographed that, is also our choreographer for Halston. So I get to work with this like great Broadway team who knows all the Fosse stuff and can help me kind of create her mannerisms, which is fun.
I can't believe we didn't ask this before, but I mentioned this in my introduction. Are you the only person that's done the original company of a show and also the revival?
Of any show? Or I don't know. I definitely am of Spring Awakening.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if I know of anyone else that has done that.
This is a question for like Jen Tepper. We need to figure out.
Really? Mary Dina, get Jen Tepper on the line. Text her. We're going to text Jen Tepper right now. And if she's available, tell her to chime in and give us the answer at the very end of this.
Yeah.
Tell her if she has the answer, to give her the link. We'll call her in and if anyone else knows this, comment away. Maybe Chicago? Because speaking of Fosse, maybe because Anne Ranking and I don't know.
I don't know.
Get Jen Tepper on the Broadway hotline.
I'm sure somebody. But
well, I like saying you are the only one.
Yeah, I do too. We'll do that.
Do you have other stage projects in the works as well? Anything down the road?
Sadly, a couple things I was going to do got canceled. I was going to, I don't even know if I can say it because it didn't get announced, but I was going to do a musical out of town, and that got postponed. And then I had another job too that now I don't even remember that got canceled. So I'm all free. I'm free right now.
How are you? So how are you filling your days? Like, what are you doing besides watching movies and working on Liza?
Well, a lot of just that. We've been, sometimes there's days where we're like, let's just let this day be whatever it is. And that ends up being a lot of like catching up on TV shows, laundry, we decided to like start cooking. I made banana bread. We made like a pork shoulder that we braised for hours. What did you say? I didn't hear you.
You obviously didn't catch last night. I was eating banana bread because Tracy made banana bread yesterday.
Who
You
knew?
guys are like
It's very
twinsies.
simple. Banana bread's easy. It's
Yeah.
like you just have to have ingredients, which on a normal basis, I don't have baking powder because like I don't cook. I'm running around all the time out till all hours of the day. So when you have the actual stuff, it takes 10 minutes. You just whip it up. But so we've
It's
been
about
doing like
5
that kind
minutes
of
to eat
stuff.
the whole thing.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna make another like citrus loaf cake I've been really excited about. Anyway, I'm like all excited about cooking, which is weird. Um, and then days like today where I was like, I'm getting up at this time, I'm gonna do this for this hour, this for that hour, because like sometimes I'm just losing my mind and I need to do stuff. Like, and I've been like getting really practicing my Spanish. I've been taking like online Spanish courses, so I have some time to like work on that a little bit more and decorating the house. I like painted the linen closet. I mean, it's just, but the biggest, like the event of our house is that we have a movie jar that we pick out a different movie that either one or both of us haven't seen before. And every day we pick two and we decide between the two. And so we've watched probably about 40 movies almost now. Like,
Wait, how do you fill the jar?
so we went to like a website about top lists of movies, like the top 100 for AFI or the top 250 for IMDb. And we like simultaneously, it's not the word I'm looking for, but that's what we did. Went through them and was like, I haven't seen this one. I haven't seen this one. I haven't seen this one. And then we cross-reference like the ones that we've wanted to see or I saw but he hadn't seen or vice versa. Usually vice versa because he's a filmmaker, so he's seen everything. So I'm the one catching up on like The Shining and The Godfather, we watched both of them. So it's not like in some ways I sometimes wish it's like comfort movies of like, oh, we're gonna watch That Thing You Do Again, which is one of my favorite like comfort movies. It's like, no, we're gonna watch Rashomon, which is what we watched last night. So it's like all like film, a lot of like film. Although tonight is Paddington 2. So like, it's a very large breadth of work. But we folded them all on little papers and we have them in a little cup and we pick out two so that we can decide which one we're feeling more like that night.
I thought you were, of course, going to say like, oh, we throw them all in there, we pick out one. But no, you pick out two.
Pick out two so we can decide, because sometimes you're not always wanting to watch The English Patient, or like I have a Zoom call at 8. We don't want to pick the 3-hour movie. You want to pick the hour and a half movie. So anyway, so that's like, that actually is oddly the highlight of the day, is like waking up and like, what are we gonna pick and what movie? And we sometimes will like pick a drink or a meal based on, we're drinking a lot. If I can just admit that, there's a lot of alcohol happening in the house. So yeah, so it's like that's where the day sort of goes to. We're watching Ozark.
A lot of people watching Ozark.
A lot of people watching Ozark.
There was someone else who said that as well. We finished it real early. What are you doing? Listen, this is obviously a tough time as well. I mean, you're great at always being positive in it, but obviously it's tough for all of us. What are you doing to stay positive and stay up? Any tips for anyone out there to manage your way through this?
Well, I mean, I certainly come from a position of gratitude for the situation that we're in, and unfortunately not everyone can be in that situation. But for me, what's keeping me positive is a couple things. One is that like I feel so uniquely equipped almost, and grateful that we are equipped, that we can do things like this, that I am in a home that, we just renovated part of it and I have a new bathroom and a washer dryer and we watch movies on our big screen and that like I have created a home that I feel happy enough being in for this amount of time. I feel really grateful for. So that, and that we're healthy and that we can still connect and create and all of that. The other thing that keeps me positive is that like we really are all in this together. It's such a hard life being an actor all the time, and all the like, if I had 3 of my jobs this year canceled in a normal situation, that would have ruined my
Right.
year, and I might not be able to feed myself. I mean, really, legitimately, some major concerns there, and obviously those are still there, but the fact that we're all in that, and that we can lean on each other, and that everybody can kind of understand what's happening, that has made those blows sort of less consequential. It's like it doesn't feel like, why is this happening to me? So anytime you can have perspective that's not all about yourself, you're going to feel a lot more positive.
Well, this will also cheer you up. Someone just said your eyes are awesome. So,
Oh, thanks.
and obviously we know the answer to the question there, but you have awesome.
Yeah.
This just in, before we get to this next question, this just in from Jen Tepper. First of all, Jen Tepper is, we have like breaking news. It's Tepper News. She's in a Zoom call, so Jen Tepper cannot, because she's like, probably someone phone a friend on Who Wants to Be a Broadway Millionaire. She's in a Zoom call right now, so she can't call in, but responded, there are quite a few actors who have done this.
I told you.
Oh, but here, she spun it positively, but none for Spring Awakening, except Krysta.
Yeah.
Michael Gruber, who you did a chorus line with him.
Yeah, I did a chorus line with him, yeah.
She, of course, knew that. She was like, ask Krysta about Michael Gruber. So unfortunately, you're not the only one, but you're the one with the most awesome
eyes.
So we're going to take
telling
that.
Michael Gruber you said that.
Yeah. Sorry, Michael. Your eyes suck.
The eyes have it.
That's another question here. I love seeing you as Meg in Central Park. What's it like performing outside under the stars?
It's so amazing. And I had heard from everybody that it's so amazing. And it is. It's like it's a cult. It's like you can't get it out of your blood once you've done it. I also got to perform at the Hollywood Bowl, which is like as, incredible. There's something about like, this sounds so weird, but you're like, I've never performed without a ceiling before. You almost feel like you're lighter, you like can reach farther, and you've never heard your voice that loud, and like it's just kind of like everything feels bigger, and that's really freeing in a weird way. And just the whole thing, Public Works is such a cool experience, which is what Hercules was through, with the different like 250 community members throughout New York. So you're entering into a very special community when you begin, and then add on this sort of almost spiritual communion you're having with people outside. I love summer in New York. It's like everyone thinks it's too hot, but I just love it so much. And there's like, I always love being on Broadway in the summer. That's one of my favorite things, because show people are just, they know how to like enjoy moments. They know how to take an experience and make it special. And so it was just special to be out there and meeting all these people and sharing this brand new show. So it was awesome.
Awesome. Justin Payne asks, as far as performance goes, which do you prefer, live theater or television?
Performance-wise, I don't necessarily have a preference, because I just try to gravitate toward the roles that I like. Any experience I've had that I've loved is not because of the medium, it's because of the part or the people, so that part kind of stays steady regardless of what medium you're in. I feel lucky that I'm able to do both, and that right when I'm feeling sort of tired or sort of just used to the other, I can figure out a way to get, if I'm doing a TV show for a while and you're like, I'm really missing that camaraderie of creating something in a room with somebody, or I'm missing working my voice, or I'm missing the applause, the instant gratification, then I can figure out a way to go do a performance. And then when I'm like, wow, I would really love 2 days off a week, like you can get in television, or, I want to do something that is more challenging, or work with people of different caliber. A lot of times in theater, all those people. This is like a way to meet new people. A lot of times then I'll get to be able to do something like that. So I don't prefer one or the other. I prefer doing both at all times. Is that selfish?
Yeah. Well, this little note just came in. You're in for a good night, apparently. Love Paddington 2.
Okay, so, I haven't seen Paddington 1 though. There, if anyone knows, I feel like I'll figure it out. It's a bear, but
you're watching the sequel before the original.
Yeah, the original did not make it onto the best list, so we didn't even put it in the jar. Yeah.
Now that's a rarity, where the sequel is better than the original.
Yeah, well, funnily, Godfather 2 was on a lot of lists more than Godfather was, but it had been a long time since I'd seen The Godfather, so we watched The Godfather and then Godfather 2, but initially only in the jar was Godfather 2.
Rocky 2 is another one. Rocky 2.
You know what else? Toy Story 2, I find to be better than the first.
Yeah. Break-In to Electric Boogaloo, however, is not as good as Break-In 1. Just if you want to throw back to some breakdancing 80s movies, Break-In to Electric Boogaloo, you can see.
Not so good. What about like Dirty Dancing Havana Nights?
Yeah.
Maybe not so good.
If Havana Nights or Break-In 2 comes out of your little cup on a piece of paper,
I don't think it will.
You should not watch it. When you look back at the beginning of your career now, and is there like one thing you can point to that you're like, I'm so glad I did that thing because that thing led me to so many other things? Like one choice you made, a part, a teacher, a move, anything?
Ooh, so many. I mean, I think, especially in the beginning, almost everything feels like it would send you one way or the other, I do think that like very early on, I was working toward developing new musicals, which I think is a big kind of framework for my career or my desires of the theater, is to like be in a position where it's collaborative from the start. And so I remember kind of early on, while I was a swing a couple times and stuff like that on Broadway, in the meantime sort of seeking out things where I could get a little bit more responsibility in a reading, or a little bit, where I could kind of work my way to making bigger choices, feeling safer, meeting new people, and one of those times was doing the Black Suits with Joe Iconis. That was like a big, I think, turning point for me, to be able to like play a leading part, to be in a show where the writer was new and up and coming, where we could sort of form our identities with each other, and I got to sing some amazing songs of Joe's, and I got to watch him become not just what he is now, but even through all of those years, just better and better and more himself and unique. And so I do think like kind of meeting him and getting involved in that show and sort of igniting my passion for creating work and meeting people who are creating work did like set me on a certain path.
It's so funny you said that, because that's where I remember seeing or hearing from you first. Of course, your performance of Blue Hair.
Yeah.
There's some YouTube videos of it around that have been seen a bazillion times.
Yeah.
And I felt you're so right about how both of you, because I felt like it broke Joe and you at the same time. Everyone was leaning forward to like, that's an amazing song, and who is this amazing woman singing it?
Yeah, it's just cool. It was a cool thing. You know, I've learned a lot about history too of people, and I think it's really fascinating to think of these like stars that we think of in the past, and that they were friends, that they were coming up together at the same time.
Yeah.
And that feels really special. I have very fond memories of like the not just the two of us, but you know, Nick Blameyer and like all these sort of people who around that time were like percolating and being like, let's make stuff together and let's make stuff that we want to make, and it's fun, cool.
Speaking of stars, people should be throwing stars at us right now, so please do so. And thank you so much for joining us. We've known each other a long time now, and I'm a super fan of you as a person and as a performer. You're one of the most passionate people I've met about just in life, but also in this business. And I will never forget, as Mark just wrote here about you having the courage to battle cancer and do Spring Awakening for us every night was just amazing, and all good, healthy, and all those things, right?
Yeah, all good, all good. Yes, that was also because of you guys allowing me to do that, taking a chance on what that would be and making concessions for things that I needed at the time. It was a really symbiotic relationship. I feel really lucky to have had that experience.
We were the lucky ones. We were the lucky ones. Thanks so much for being here, because all of us were the lucky ones tonight. I appreciate it. Stay safe and stay healthy, and we'll see you soon.
All right. See you guys. Thanks. Bye.
Krysta Rodriguez, everybody. Super fun. She's off right now. We had to let her go early because she's got Paddington 2 on the boards. She's going to love it so much. They're going to like go back and then watch Paddington 1, and they're going to be like, that's why he's a bear. It's going to be that kind of thing. Anyway, thanks so much for tuning in. Don't forget, you can watch all the replays of all the folks. Just go to the videos page on my Facebook page and look at all the people we have coming up and that we've had in the shoot. Mary, damn it. That was the replay. This is who's coming up. Rob McClure, Julie Halston, Santino, Mara Isaacs, Ashley Park. On Monday, the Lopez's, Bobby Lopez and Krysta Anderson Lopez, you know, those folks who wrote Let It Go. Ever hear of it? Mm-hmm. They wrote it. They're going to be here on Monday night after you enjoy your weekend. What else do we have to talk about? Don't forget about the Actors Fund. Do take a moment before you start celebrating your weekend. Throw some stars at us. Give a little to the Actors Fund. Here's the thing. When we hit $5,000, $5,000, I'm going to show you the Corona cut. That's the deal. $5,000. Oh, look, we got 695 stars. That's amazing. 695 stars. Thank you so much, Michael. We're closer to showing you my Corona cut. It's worth it. It is worth it. Someone should donate like 10,000 right now. And I'm going to leave you with, as we always do, something to make you smile through the weekend. Oh, and speaking of Spring Awakening and speaking of Deaf West, DJ Kurz, who was on, he mentioned this to us, and it's now live in public, so we're going to show it to you. Deaf West Theater had a collaboration with Kelly Clarkson, and did a version of I Dare You, the ASL version. I think you're going to find it very, very inspiring and will make you smile. So enjoy that. Don't forget to join us here on Monday again with the Lopez's. Watch all the replays and stay safe out there, everybody, and we will see you on Monday. Take care.